Hello, it's Victoria Gallagher from HipTalk.com. There are a lot of myths and misconceptions when it comes to hypnosis that I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to go over the top 10 hypnosis myths. This is in response to a question that I received from one of my YouTube subscribers. So thank you very much for your question. So the first misconception is that people that are hypnotized are asleep and they don't know what's going on. And where this myth typically comes from is from seeing stage hypnosis, which is completely different from therapeutic hypnosis or any kind of hypnosis CD that you might buy on my website. This is completely a myth and a misconception. Actually, when you go see a stage hypnosis show, the audience is more hypnotized than the people on stage. And what I mean by that is that what they are imagining that's going on in the minds of the people that they're seeing on stage, their perception of them is that in order to be acting the way that they're acting, they must be totally under control, totally not know what's happening. But as a matter of fact, they're very aware of what is happening. They're just in a deep state of relaxation and they're going along with what the hypnotist is doing. They have a sense of urge to do that thing that the hypnotist is asking them to do. And that kind of brings me to the next myth, which is people don't remember what they've done under hypnosis. And the reason why you will see that sometimes in a stage show is because of what's called a post-hypnotic suggestion that the hypnotist gives on stage. You'll notice that he'll usually say, when I bring you out of this trance, you will forget everything that has happened to you over the last half an hour. And that suggestion can make you forget. It can give you instant amnesia. And to give you an understanding a little bit about what that instant amnesia is like is, have you ever had somebody tell you their name and then like instantly you just forgot their name? That's kind of what it's like. You can be given a suggestion to forget something and then instantly forget everything that's happened to you. People do that all the time. So it's not as a result of being hypnotized that you forget everything. It's as a result of the post-hypnotic suggestion. So the hypnotist has control over their subject, and that's another myth. You are always the one that is in control. When the hypnotist asks you to do things like close your eyes, take a deep breath, and they start to deepen your relaxation and continue to give you suggestions, you can always accept or reject any suggestion that is ever given to you. But it's just more to your benefit to accept the suggestions, and that comes from trust. But if the hypnotist were to give you a suggestion that you didn't agree with or that was against your values or against your morals, you would reject those suggestions. You're just accepting the suggestions, and each suggestion that they give you is bringing you into deeper states of hypnosis, but you can always take yourself out of that hypnosis state anytime that you choose. Here's another myth that we get, and that is that only weak-minded people can be hypnotized. And as a matter of fact, it requires a strong mind. You do actually have to have at least an average IQ in order to be hypnotized. If you're not able to focus or concentrate or follow along or accept those suggestions, then you're not going to go into a hypnotic state. And the other thing is that you are hypnotized in your day all the time. There's all kinds of times, when you actually fall into a hypnotic trance. When you're driving down the road and you forget to take this particular exit and you think to yourself, wow, where have I been for the last minute or two? how did I miss that exit? You were in a hypnotic state, a highway hypnosis, we call it. Another myth is that a person under hypnosis can be made to tell secrets. You are going to only reveal things under hypnosis that you feel comfortable talking about. It's not a truth serum. It's not anything like that. Another myth, another question, people think that you have to be lying down on your back or, in some type of, real comfortable state in order to be hypnotized. You can be hypnotized while you're standing, while you're sitting, while you're driving. You shouldn't try to be hypnotized while you're driving, but all of these various different physiological states, you can go into hypnosis very easily while you're standing. And I actually recommend that people who have a hard time staying awake during hypnosis, that they sit up, maybe in a chair that's not so comfortable, because hypnosis is not sleep. Another myth that people have about hypnosis is that you're going to remember everything that has ever happened to you in your whole entire life while you're under hypnosis. Now, that is just not true. However, in hypnosis, you can bring back and get a little bit more clear about certain memories if you would like to get in touch with things that have happened from your past. But you're not just suddenly going to have a whole lifetime of memories right there available at your beck and call. Your mind would explode if you had access to all that information right on the spot. Another myth that people have concerns about is that you can get stuck in a trance or that you can get stuck in hypnosis, and that's just not true. You will come out of hypnosis pretty much when the hypnotist tells you to come out of hypnosis, but if you don't come out right then, typically, because hypnosis is such an enjoyable experience that people like to have, they might stay there for a little longer and enjoy their trance, and maybe even drift off to sleep. But just like any other natural state, you will come back to full waking consciousness when you're ready to come back, and you will no longer be in hypnosis. All right, another myth is that hypnosis can make you cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog. You will only participate in these activities. Again, this is something that people see in a stage hypnosis show, which is, for the purpose of entertainment. But if you go into a hypnotic state from a CD or from going to a professional hypnotist in a therapeutic situation, nothing could be further from the truth. They're not going to make you do things that are humiliating to you. They're going to only do things that are going to help you to achieve whatever result you are wanting to achieve from coming to hypnosis session. So you won't do those things if you don't want to. Okay, the last myth that I'm going to point out, and there are other myths, but this myth has to do with the hypnotist has special powers over you. And that is simply not true. A hypnotist is not endowed with special powers. However, a hypnotist is endowed with special skills that they have learned to formulate words into suggestions and to use the correct grammar when coming up with ways to help you to imagine what it is that you need to imagine in order to bring about the results that you're wanting to bring about. Everyone has the power to hypnotize yourself or another person. It's just simply, do you have the skill? Do you have the right words? Do you have the right intonation in your voice? Do you have the right tone and the right patter. These are things that can be learned as a skill by anybody. So those are the top 10 myths that I have heard about throughout my whole career. And so I hope these have given you a little bit more insight into hypnosis and will help you to feel safe and comfortable when being hypnotized. Just knowing that everything that you do in hypnosis is as a result of your own desire to want to do that thing, and you can become hypnotized or you can resist hypnosis if you want to. You don't have to try to resist it. If you do try to resist it, you won't get hypnotized. And so it's not something that you should ever try to avoid because it'll work, and then it's kind of a waste of your time. So I hope that you have enjoyed this YouTube video, and I will be answering more and more questions over the next few weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.